Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through problem solving with Venn diagrams. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can solve real world type problems using Venn diagrams. Okay, so here we go. Example number 9 here. A chess boxing club has 42 members. 30 participate in singles chess boxing and 22 participate in doubles chess boxing. 2 don't participate in either. Represent this with a Venn diagram. First thing we want to do is fill out our Venn diagram with all of our numbers, and that will make these two parts really pretty straightforward. So first thing I'm going to start with here is there's 2 that don't participate in either. Okay, we know that there's 42 total, and we have 30 that participate in singles, and we have 22 that participate in doubles. So if you remember from our previous section here, we want to figure out how many total are going to be in these 3. So there's 42 total, but there's 2 that are outside of that. So there's 40 are going to be in these 3 regions here. So if we have our 30 and our 22, that's 52 total if they were all individual. So we have to figure out how much overlap there is, how many are in both, and that's where we would take 52. 52 minus, not that, minus 40. Gives us that there are 12 that are in both regions. So if we have 12 in here, then to figure out what this piece is here, we would just do 30 minus 12, and that is going to give us 18. So there's 18 that just do singles, and there's 12 that do singles and doubles, and then 22 minus 12 give us that there are 10 that do just doubles. Okay, now that we've got this all filled in, that will make figuring out these questions a lot easier. So I'm going to get rid of the 30 and the 22. That was just to help us figure out everything in here. So represent this with a Venn diagram. Did that. Find the number of members who participate in only the singles. So only singles would be 18. Only doubles would be the 10. And then both singles and doubles, that's this 12. So see, this becomes really straightforward once you have all your numbers and stuff filled in there. All right, let's take a look at another example. Example 10, a guinea pig racing league has 70 participants. 41 participate in the 200-meter sprints, and 37 participate in the 2,000-meter sprints, and 37 in the 5,000-meter sprints. How many race both the 2,000 and the 5,000? So we're going to want to make ourselves a little Venn diagram to represent this info. Okay, so let's put a Venn diagram in here and fill in what we know. So there are 70 total participants. Let's see, this will be, we'll call this one, this is going to be the 2,000 meter and the 5,000 meter, right? So there's 41 that are in the 2,000, and then there are 37 that are in the 5,000. How many race in both the 2,000 and the 5,000? Okay, so we're gonna have to assume here, since it says it has 70 participants, that since they're participating, they actually have to do one or the other. So I'm going to assume that means that there's 0 on the outside here. Okay, so we know that there's 70 total, but 41 and 37 give us a total of 78, but we can only have space for 70, so we got to take 78 minus our 70, and there are 8 guinea pigs that are going to do both. So then if we do 41 minus 8, that's going to give us 33 that just do the 2,000, and if we do 37 minus 8, that gives us that there's 29 that do just the 5,000. So then it says how many race in both the 2,000 and the 5,000? That's the 8 right here. The 8 from the middle. All right. All right. Let's take a little comedy break, and then we will finish this off. Okay, last example to take a look at is example 11. There is actually a more difficult example 11 that's in our textbook, and there is a separate video that shows the more difficult version, but we're gonna go with this a little bit nicer version for now. Okay, so we got a group of 100 avid magazine readers who were asked if they read 3 particular magazines. 45 read Catster, 54 read Fate, and 53 read Beadwork. 26 read both Catster and Fate, 29 read both Fate and Beadwork, 32 read Catster and Beadwork, and 17 read all 3. Okay, so we're going to want to display this info on the Venn diagram and then answer these questions. So we know that there's 100 total people that read the 3 magazines, right? Catster, Fate, and Beadwork. Our goal is usually to try to see if we can't figure out what the middle one is first and then kind of work out from there, which usually means start at the end. 17 read all 3, so we know 17 is going to go in the middle here, okay? From there, it says 32 read Catster and Beadwork, so Catster and Beadwork, these 2 regions together have to equal 32, so if we do 32 minus 17, we get 15, so that means that this has to be 15 because add these 2 together and we get our 32 back. Okay. 29 read both Fate and Beadwork. Fate and Beadwork, there's 29 in these 2 spots here, so if we take 29 minus 17, we means that there's 12 that read just Fate and Beadwork, but not all 3. Okay, and continuing to work backwards, 26 read both Catster and Fate, so 26 between these 2. 26 minus 17 leaves us that there are 9 that read just Catster and Fate. Okay, and then 53 total read Beadwork. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to add those all together first. So 15 plus 17 plus 12. It's going to give us what, 9? 4, add 1, that's 44, right? But we know there's 53 total. So if we do 53 minus 44, we get that there's 9 that read just Beadwork. Okay. Okay, so we got Beadwork out of the way. 54 total read Fate, so we're going to want to do 9, 17, and 12, right? So 2 plus 7 is 9, plus another 9 is 18, so that's 38. So if we take the 54 minus the 38, that's going to leave us with 16, right? So there's 16 that read just Fate. And let's see, 45 total in the Catster. So we want to do 9, 17, and 15. Right? So let's see, that gives us 16, 21. So that's 41 total. And there's 45 total that read Catster. So if we do 45 minus 41, that means there are 4 that read just Catster. Right? Now, we have one more thing to find, and that's how many are outside here. So what we have to do is we actually have to add all these up and subtract it from 100 to find the total. So possibly a little trick here is we know that there should be 45 in this Catster circle here. Now this all adds up to 45, so let's maybe do this. Let's do 45 with all of those, and then 16, 12, and 9. Just helps us to have to do a little less math here. So let's see, that together makes 15, 22, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 82 total in here. So to find the total that are outside, we would have to do 100 minus 82, which leaves us with that there's 18 that don't read anything. Well, none of these 3 fantastic magazines. So this here, now that we've displayed the info in the Venn diagram, we've done all the hard work. Now we just use these numbers here to answer our questions. How many read just Catster? 4. Because there's our just Catster group, right? How many read Catster Fate? Catster and Fate, but not beadwork. So Catster and Fate in here, that's these two, but not beadwork. So we'd have to cross that out, and we get just 9 for that. And then how many didn't read any of the 3? That's this 18 right here. So we get 18 for that. Okay. All right. That's all we have for problem solving with Venn diagrams. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask in class.